I mean, black people are getting murdered. You know, I mean, I don't have to be black to see that and know that it's wrong. And you know, unlike most cities, in this city, I stood up on the stage with everybody saying this stuff is wrong, you know, and I made sure that we didn't have police on the streets. It was my tactic to keep the police off the streets because the police were the target of the anger. Why would you put police on the streets? I had police hidden in buildings all over the place, just in case people got out of control, you know, or you know, at one point there was some rumor that a bunch of busloads of white supremacists were coming from Delaware, and that there was going to be a huge clash in the city of York. You know, there was a small clash back in like 2003. Actually, that was more between white supremacists and white anti-racists. But there was this whole thing that they were going to come in the midst of the George Floyd protests and create a whole racial upheaval. So it's not that I did not have law enforcement, including the quick response team and our police departments and other people on the line in case something happened. But I had seen on the Sunday, like our main protest started here on Monday, but on Sunday there was one in Harrisburg, and I watched on the news a Latino police officer just standing there minding his own business, and protesters coming towards him and yelling at him, and I was like, that poor guy. I'm like, he didn't do anything, but his mere presence escalated the problem. And that's when I said, the next day I talked to Commissioner Robinson and I said, I want no cops. I want no cops. And it ended up being Commissioner Robinson and me and 3 other police officers. One of them African American, I believe the other 2 were white. And all those officers, you know, we all took a knee when other people took a knee. We all stood in solidarity. There was no, and we let the citizens, we let the people hold the steps of the police department as long as they wanted. You know, keep talking. We were there till 11 o'clock at night. But you asked me what my worst thing was. I'm going to tell you that I feel like I was made for that week. Because when I was 19, the whole way till the time I was 30, I was a social rights protester. When I was down in D.C. In January of 1990, I was protesting the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, and the cops came through and kicked at us and on their horses and stuff like that. I watched a guy next to me get his whole head gashed open. You know, I was a World Trade Organization protester down there in '99 when we had linked arms and we were up against the cops. Like, we were face to face, you know, in some very dangerous situations. And so being a protester gave me the insight into what was going to escalate and what would reduce the energy of the potential confrontation. So you have a whole bunch of people that are very upset. Again, now this is a national trauma. This is a national trauma. Now, we talked a little bit about city traumas and stuff, but the killing, particularly of unarmed black people, is a national trauma. And again, I get myself in trouble here a little bit because I keep forgetting I'm a 50-year-old white guy. But because it doesn't, you know, we're just the people here, and people are getting traumatized, and people are getting unjustly killed. It hurts us all, you know. And sorry, I shook myself up a little bit there. But that week, being able to, that was probably the greatest time. But I probably also let myself not see the division that others were seeing. And having to I let myself get carried away, thinking that we were all in this together. And there's still lots of division out there, no matter how much you really care.